Mm-hmm.
And we're back for another exciting episode of Creators Collective, and we're starting it off with Zack's Snacks, and Zack's mouth is full. And this is going to be a very, very interesting week as two of us are completely in jet lag. So, Will, this show is on you, man.
I hope I'm up to the task.
I do want to say a huge thank you to our patrons on Patreon, particularly Darren Mates, Caleb Harris of You Can Make This Too, and Judith Grass. Thanks for helping us make this channel better. So if you want to help out with that, you can go to patreon.com/creators collective and help us out there. So let's dive into this week. Zach, what you been working on?
I have no idea. I'm a mess. This is like this month of my life. I'm gonna get a little bit deep and intense, so prepare yourselves, everybody. This is like the first month of my life where I'm like, I understand alcoholism. not that I am indulging or been drinking, but I understand how it happens to people because.
Oh no, I saw you on the bar at Saturday.
Well, it wasn't too bad. I actually don't like being drunk. I like that there's like a sweet spot after for me, like 2 or 3 beers where you just have a little bit of something going and you just loosen up. I don't even like being drunk, but I get it because man, it's just so much stuff has been happening. And I mean, I've had like 3 trips in the past month, I think. And just living out of suitcases and I mean the there's a lot of great things that have happened. Don't get me wrong, but most of the stress is coming from this moving thing. This latest house that we were so close on, ready to move. My wife literally she has to start her job in like 4 weeks in Columbus, and the listing agent for the house that we were all settled on, accepted, blah blah blah, inspection good. Just kept dragging and dragging and dragging. And finally, the appraisal came in like 2 days ago, $100,000 below the offer price, the listing price.
Wow.
Yeah. So
that's crazy.
Right? Yeah. And so you can imagine what happens. The old codger that owns the house says, it's worth at least this. And it's like, nobody can get, unless somebody has at least $100,000 cash floating around.
Yeah.
They're not going to be able to buy that house. So it's never going to sell. He's not going to sell it for less than that. So we lost out on the house that, we already had planning moving trucks. We're boxed up. And like I said, my wife has to be up there in like 3 weeks to start her new job. So like that was just gut wrenching. And we got that news the second we landed. Second we got back to Florida. I swear this state has teeth. But good news though, we found another place just like 20 minutes north of Columbus in a nice little neighborhood. Has another big shop. It's like 1,600 square feet. I found it 2 days ago. We contacted our real estate agent up there. She was actually able to check it out within an hour of me sending it to her. And we put in an offer that same day. It's a better house in a better neighborhood. The shop is 1,600 feet, so it's a little bit smaller, but it has plumbing and it's fully insulated.
Nice.
So there's some advantages there, and there's plenty of property to expand if we need to. Hopefully I'm not boring the crap out of anybody here, but you guys all heard about pocket holes and finger joints. This is the real stuff here we're talking about. So I think it could end up being a good thing, but it is just so nerve wracking because we're trying to expedite all of this. We have we have to do another appraisal, another inspection, all that stuff, and we are just running out of time. I mean, we had moving estimators come by yesterday and try and figure that stuff out, and it's like, man, like hopefully everything will come together and it'll be just fine. But it's like, I mean, moving across country is, I mean, it's probably one of the biggest life-changing events you can have, a normal life-changing event. And to be right down to the wire and have everything just kind of changing on you on a daily, hourly basis. It's just, It's totally nerve-wracking. So
when I
I had to
moved out
force
to,
myself to just get out to the shop today. Like I felt so unmotivated. It's really weird. I'm so used to, I mean, I think this is why I'm self-employed is I'm so used to just being in control of things. I don't like waiting for other people or depending on other people. And I don't mean that negatively. I like to be the one steering the ship, and I can work hard and get answers and stuff. But this whole process is, I think the worst part of it is that there's so many other parties involved. I mean, you have to deal with, your agent, listing agent, broker, inspection people, appraisal people, and all the schedule. It's like waiting, hurry up and wait. We're on a time crunch, and it's like, well, the appraisal happens sometime in the next week, and the inspection will happen sometime in the next week. And I'm like, can we just can we pay you a ton of extra money and have you do it now, even though we don't have the extra money? It's just, I think,
I mean, anything home buying,
oh my
home
God.
building, dealing with the bureaucracy of banks and county inspectors and appraisers, and I hate it.
It's such
So
a bad process. What's crazy to me is that, because this is the first home that we're just buying, and you would think that the seller of the home, it would make way more sense if they were responsible for the appraisal, because then they would know what to list their house for. And everybody coming after that would know what the bank is willing to offer. That would just make so much more sense, because we're out just from the last house for all of that stuff. We're out, $1,300 that we're not going to get back because we had to pay for the inspection and the appraisal.
that's
And if
supposed
anybody
to be
else,
that's supposed to be the job of the realtor listing the house, is letting the seller know this is what the house is actually worth.
well, I mean, they say that, but you still, the
Yeah,
the
I mean,
buyer is responsible for the appraisal, because you have to go through whoever the broker.
yeah. I'm just saying that
through.
I don't know of a realtor who I've ever worked with. I mean, I used to be a realtor. And I don't know of anyone who would take a listing that is over what it should be. That's just dumb.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, well, I mean, there's the county appraising. Well, there's like the county assessment, right? Like what the county,
Yeah.
well, at least in my area, what the county says your house is worth versus what a private appraiser says your
well,
house
I
is
mean,
worth.
I think the catch is since we're applying for the loan, we're buying the house, our loan agent or broker wants to have the house appraised because
Yeah.
they're on the line for the balance. But
Right.
it would still, and I understand that, but it would still be nice if whoever sold the house would have to get like an independent appraisal and put that value that way in their head. Because the problem isn't with the price of the house. The problem is with what the owner thinks the price is worth.
Yeah.
So it would be nice if there were like that reality check before people listed their house. Because this is the second house that we've lost because it's been listed way over appraisal. So this
Right.
can't be a new rare issue. I mean, we've had it 2 times in a row. Hopefully a third time's a charm. This house is actually better, and it's in a really nice space, lots of property. But yeah, it's totally nerve wracking, and I'm assuming that everybody is really tired of me talking about
Well.
this by now. So what's up with you guys?
Well, I wish you luck.
Thank you.
What about you, Will? What you got?
Man, I am all over the place. So I finally finished that media console for tools today, and I just finished the video for them, and I'm sending that on. That'll go on their channel at some point. I am still finishing my basement, still laying down floors like an hour at a time, and then I started working on the cantina outside because I needed to get an exterior wall up to mount the electrical panels for the pool permanently, so I could open up the pool. Then I jumped over to building a stair system off of our deck down to the pool level, so we have a better access from our main floor down to the pool, so you don't have to walk all the way around the house or through the basement and through the shop. And I need to build a vanity for the basement bathroom that I'm finishing, so I can get the plumbing buttoned up and install a toilet before my daughter's birthday party in 3 weeks. And I feel like I'm in this, like I'm swinging violently back and forth, like this like crazy pendulum from like feeling super motivated and just getting stuff done and like working outside and then working in my shop. And when the glue is drying on this, like jumping over here and just like, getting a lot of work done and feeling really good. And then the pendulum swings the other way and I get totally overwhelmed and just don't feel like doing anything. And it's a real problem. Like, it's like, I feel like I'm like, bipolar guy getting, a lot of stuff done and then nothing done. And then, stressing that nothing's getting done and then having one really good day and feeling like, oh, I got this. So yeah, that's what I got going on. Do you guys ever feel like that? Like, do you ever feel like Zach, you were just talking about how like all this stuff needs to happen, and you're running out of time and, but you're more waiting on other parties. Me, it's like, it is on me. But James, I know you're just a robot, but do you ever feel like that?
Yeah, all the time.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Well, especially like
So it's
right
not
now
just
that I
me.
just got back. It's just I have 3 days worth of work to do, and I'm just chomping at the bit to get at it. And yeah, I'm so far behind right now.
Yeah. So I don't know. How do you tackle that? Like, how do you prioritize? So I'm in my buddy Jordan's shop right now because he's got the good internet. And we had a good long talk last time I saw him about, prioritizing your projects, getting paid, paying your bills, doing personal projects, because they make you happy, doing honeydews to make sure your significant other is happy. And also, like mowing the grass, like
Yeah.
just stuff that needs to happen. Right. Like, I don't know. Do you guys ever?
Oh yeah.
Like,
Yeah. I'm a big fan of to-do lists.
Okay.
I have an app called Todoist, and it allows me to color code and prioritize things. Like right now, the lawn has to be done. It's been 2 weeks since it's been mowed because I've been gone, and it is a higher priority than it normally is. But yeah, I wake up every morning and I look at my list and I'll prioritize. Okay, this has to be done because of a video. It has to go out tomorrow. And I can break down from there things that have to get done, things that should be good to get done, things that I'd like to get done, and things that I just simply like to do.
I always find the thing that I hate the very most, that I dread doing the very most, the one on the list that most people would put off till last, and I do that one first. And then usually when that obstacle, you get like that relief,
Endorphin high.
Yeah, it's like, you did the thing that you least wanted to do, and it seems like it makes everything else a little bit more bearable. But I don't know, it's a matter of discipline, because I'm going through the same thing right now. Like I'm kind of in a I mean, a lot of great things happen. Like these events were fantastic. It's always it was incredible to get to hang out. We had the Workbench Con, and then the Spring Make event, and then this Maker Central in London, which was amazing. And it was incredible to meet. I feel like I've met a lot of the US people, but going over to Europe and meeting people from all over the world that come up to you, and even like Google translating, because they don't necessarily speak fluent English, and like just say, the messages and stuff are just, it's incredible. So it's a great experience. But and just with all the stuff going on in the background, as soon as we land, we get that news, and there's just so many things that I need to catch up on and get figured out logistically. And it kind of shuts me down mentally. Like I don't feel like working at all. Like I took 2 days of doing nothing just to kind of work through the jet lag, and I've just felt super uninspired. I don't want to do anything. I just want to like I don't know what, like just sit and eat ice cream and let everything go to hell. But
Yeah.
I think the discipline, and for me, I mean, just if you have, I guess, willpowers, this is when you need it. Is these times when you have zero inspiration, and you don't want to get out of bed, and you don't want to go out to the shop, and you don't want to do anything other than just like be depressed and complain about everything. And so like today was like, okay, I know I need this. So I'm out in the shop right now. I'm making stuff. I'm going to go to the gym later just to have something going on that at least I can feel like I have control over something, or I've accomplished something, and I'm not just, because I mean, it's really easy to sit around all day, and then it seems like when night comes around, if you haven't done anything during the day, you feel fine. But then nighttime, you're like, oh my God, I did nothing today. I accomplished nothing. So that's not a good feeling. So at least doing this, I'll be able to come back tonight and sleep.
Hey, I talked to James and Will on the internet. So
yes,
yeah.
Well, no, I mean, I'm knocking out a couple of hammers. I think today I'll get number 98 and 99 forged, and then I think I'm going to do a video for number 100, and I think it's going to be the last hammer I forge in Florida, as long as this third house doesn't fall through. Yeah. So I mean, I guess that's my schedule. That's the plan. So at least I'll have accomplished something productive today.
No, I know we keep talking about it and circling back, but I feel like we're all kind of feeling the same thing. Where Zack, I've always been inspired by you just like getting it done and like getting out in the shop and like, knocking stuff out and like just like actually like turning stuff out, and to see you just kind of being like, I don't even want to do anything. I'm like, you're just kind of downtrodden. It's a really slippery slope, because I've been there. I got there this winter where it was just like, you didn't want to, like, I was like, I don't want to go to the shop. I don't want to get this done. I know I have a million things I need to get done, but I'm not motivated and I can't make myself do it. And then this spring, I just started doing things that needed to get done because there's a timeline, and it was like, the more I did, the more I wanted to do. And it was like that total like swap in my brain, like where I was like, okay, like now I've got motivation. Now I've got like, inertia and like those positive, like the whatever it is in your brain, serotonin or whatever it is, that release of like getting stuff done. And the more active I am, the more I want to do. And some days, like, just to get started, like I'll go out in the yard and like dig a hole, like, something totally mindless, but like gets my heart rate up. And then like, I'm like, okay, like now I'm focused and let's do it. So
it's amazing. Like those things. I mean, I think it's like the same way with, I think going to the gym is the perfect example. I never want to go. Like that's the hardest part, is like
getting in the car,
in the car, going to the gym, and like once you're there, after a couple of minutes, you're like, okay, all right, I'm here, it's happening, this is good, and then you're done and you feel good about it. But like the process of like, I'm comfortable, I don't want to move, like I could, and you have that battle with yourself where you're like, well, I could just sit here and eat potato chips, this is really nice. Or I guess I could do this thing and I'll feel really nice later. And I think trying to rationalize things is one of the worst things that people have a tendency of doing. You don't say no to yourself, but you give yourself, instead of saying no, I'm just never going to go again, you're like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it in a couple hours, I'm just going to eat this, I'm going to eat a really big lunch, and then I'll see if I feel full in an hour, and then I'll eat, like, all these little tiny like compromises that you try and make with yourself so that you don't accomplish the things that you really want for yourself because you don't feel like doing them. Like that is, I think, when you have to just crack down and go for it. You're done. Like your brain can almost be your enemy. It can work against you if you let it. So sometimes you just have to say, I know this is what I want in the long run, this is good for me, I'm just going to do it, I'm not thinking about it, go.
Yep. Mind over matter, right?
Yeah. Matter over mind.
I have to say that as much as I like to get things done, there are times when procrastination is actually a good thing. Because if I have something I have to get done, I have a video that has to go out tomorrow, I have, some product, some deadline that has to occur on a time, then I've got to do that. Procrastination's bad then. But if there are times when, I just do not have the drive, I don't have the inspirational thought on it right now, and I don't have to have it done today, I have a time slot I can fit it into tomorrow, there are times when I find it very beneficial to just take a step back and say, okay, I'm just going to be lazy for a little bit. I'm going to enjoy my time and be lazy.
Oh yeah,
And
certainly.
say, I'll let my brain stew on the project. And I find that a lot of times if I just have some time down where I can let my brain wander on something, either I find an easier, more enjoyable way of doing it, or I get some inspiration of a different way to accomplish it.
Yeah,
And
no, that makes perfect sense. I mean,
Yeah.
I knew when I got back from all this traveling and the jet lag, I'm like, I'm going to take 2 days and I'm not going to do anything. And I know I needed that. But coming out of that can be tough because you establish like this you know, kind of pattern. And it's
Mhm.
weird. It's the the better, I feel like the better something is for you, the harder it is to establish it as a habit. Where if something's terrible for you, it's so easy to make that a habit. I
Yeah.
don't smoke,
yeah,
but like, I mean, so maybe I'm talking out of turn, but I don't think anybody ever has a cigarette the first time and goes, "Oh man, this is fantastic. This feels great." I don't think that happens very often. Um, but then people that quit, they might quit for 10 years and they have one cigarette and bam, right back to it. Um, it's
Yeah.
just so easy to fall into these patterns of
hmm
like comfort or, you know, I don't want to say lethargy, but just things that aren't necessarily good for you,
yeah.
where it's
There's
a lot
definitely
easier to not do those things every day.
there's definitely something to be said about being okay with being uncomfortable. Getting to the point where where the feeling of uncomfortability is normal or is acceptable.
Are you saying this as like an ultra runner or like as a
Well, I mean,
guy
just
that
in
just
general. I mean, if you are in the business world and your job is, making contacts and calling people and talking to people, that can be a terrifying thing. But getting over your feeling of that uncomfortability of walking up to someone and talking to them, or the odd things that everyone has something that is out of their comfort zone, something that's uncomfortable and it doesn't feel right. um, Getting to the point where you can accept that feeling of uncomfortability and be okay with that. I think that's a valuable skill to have.
Yeah,
yeah.
you have to.
Yeah. Well, I feel like this has been the self-help
It
episode of
has.
but James, I know you were in England for a good long while.
Yeah, almost 2 weeks.
Wow. Yeah. So what do you got going on in your shop?
Well, we flew out to Gatwick and then did south of London for a couple days. Went and saw Highclere Castle or Downton Abbey. Then did Seven Sisters, which is on the White Cliffs. Seven Sisters is the more beautiful version of Dover,
Hmm.
um, and absolutely gorgeous there. And then we went and did London for a couple days, and we went up to Maker Central for a couple days, and that was absolutely awesome. Everyone there in Britain was asking me, is this kind of like what you have in the U.S.? And I'm like, no, this is so much better than anything in the U.S.
It's
Um,
huge. Yeah.
yeah,
Nick
it's just
Zanetti
so
did
many
a great job.
YouTubers. Because I mean, any other place in the U.S. is just not. It's not designed or comfortable for YouTubers. I mean, you kind of have the woodworking show in Atlanta, but even then, the woodworking shows is a little like, we don't. They're not terribly happy with YouTubers.
The cool thing about this, I think the Maker Central versus the other events is like I think Workbench Con is now like that's the big one. That's the big,
Mhm.
if you're
Hmm.
if you're into YouTube or Instagram or social media or whatever, like that's the one to go to. But, tickets are like um they're not cheap for Workbench Con. And so what you get is a whole bunch of people that are already on social media,
Yeah,
or that's the majority of people, and it's pretty much just everybody spending a bunch of money to hang out for a few days and do some fun stuff, which is totally worth it. I really like Workbench Con. But what's nice about the Maker Central is it's like tickets are like $25 or something, and so it's pretty much open to the public. It's open for everybody. It's a great chance for families, parents to bring their kids,
yeah.
and that was one of the really cool things is just seeing seeing people that are just, maybe they don't even have the aspiration to do social media. They just like watching your stuff and maybe doing stuff on their own spare time. A lot more of that showing up. So it's just
Yeah.
kind of a
It's also a
people.
broader audience than just
Yeah.
woodworking, because I mean, there's a lot of making 3D printing electronics. There was someone there turning plaster, turning pottery, and actually getting to meet and hang out with some of the channels that aren't just YouTube, and makers in general. I found that to be very, very fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, we did Makers Central for a couple days, and then went back down to London for a couple more days, and we hit pretty much every tourist event location and place in London. Had a ton of fun just seeing Old Town London and walking around in buildings that are literally 1,000 years old, and seeing some of the architecture and seeing how things were made, and in some cases the amount of quality and detail and craftsmanship that went into things. In other cases, some places where this is just slapshod together, but it's still standing 800 years later. It was kind of interesting and eye-opening, a lot of inspiration.
Yeah.
And then we flew back and got home last night at 11 p.m. So I've been home for 10 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, it's London was really cool. Very like friendly. I didn't expect it to be. I mean, I guess it makes sense, but I just didn't ever think of it being such a melting pot.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we went and had one of the nights we had dinner. There was 4 tables in there, and every one of them was a totally different language.
Yeah.
It's
Oh
just,
yeah.
but there's a lot of neat stuff there. It's people are really friendly. Their beer is too warm. It's weird. It's like just barely chilled. I mean, it's like almost warm. It's good, but it's strange drinking beer that's not super cold for me.
Were you drinking pints, halves, or schooners?
Pints.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then so we did London, and then we took the Eurostar, which is something that I think we need everywhere in this country after riding it. It goes I think it went about 200 miles an hour. It was insane. The best way I can describe it is, when you're driving in a car and like you see things that are close go by your window really fast. It's like that, but the things that are really far go by your window that fast. Like mountains go by like telephone poles. It's weird. Not that they have mountains there, but hills, we'll say. But yeah, we took that to Paris for a day. And it was comfy. There was tons of room. You could get up and walk around. I don't know why we don't have those things. They were amazing. Paris was, I was expecting we were expecting some snootiness from the Parisians, but it was all was well. They're friendly, and yeah, it's a good experience. And we went back to London for another day, to Birmingham, and that was our trip.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, you guys want to actually do a creators photo challenge that we haven't done in a month and a half now?
God, when's the last time we were all on a podcast?
I know. It's kind of fun. Yeah, this time we had the creators photo challenge, and we had the joke a while ago about do you love me or do you cactus? And so we asked people to submit a picture that fits into that, and we had 3 submissions. So really good chances for 3 people. So Will, have you picked yours?
Yeah, sure. Either Fernie B Creations, who did an acronym, "Do you love me or do you cactus? Create and create things until sleep." And the other one is me, or let's see, somebody, Whiskey Mike from Texas made a cactus succulent planter, and he said, "Sorry guys, I cactus." And then I did a drawing, a quick drawing that looks a little bit more like the male anatomy, but but it's stupid. So I feel like since I'm one of the 3, I can't choose. So you guys have to choose.
Yeah, your choice is automatically the other 2. So
Yeah.
Was it Do You Love Me or was it Do You Love It?
Do you love it? Do you love it or do you cactus?
Yes.
What if I have a novel suggestion? What if we used yours and the acronym one? Like what if it had the drawing like on the front, like where a pocket would be or something, and then on the back it had the explanation.
We could explore this.
Yeah, picture-wise, I have to go with Whiskey Mike, Texas. The idea of a pallet wood planter. That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
But
man,
we got to come up with a shirt here soon.
You don't like my penis cactus? No? Okay.
I wonder if maybe his other arm were sticking out. The one scratching his chin were sticking out. So that he looked more cactusy. He had the book, and then the other one was just like static.
And looked a little less like a dill pickle.
Maybe.
What did you draw that with?
I like the glasses.
Yeah.
Thanks. I in Photoshop real quick. I just bloop bloop bloop. Yeah, I threw it together in Photoshop.
I think we could work with those two together. You know what's interesting is we get some really weird pictures that people put our hashtag on that have obviously no relevance to anything that we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like one guy in like Indonesia that keeps putting up.
And then there's one like lady with like balloons and like 80s pictures of herself, and I think it's in Italian. You see that one?
I missed that one. Oh yeah.
What the heck is that?
It's like total like glam shot, like.
Yeah, but it looks like she looks like who's the girl? She looks like Cyndi Lauper.
Cyndi Lauper, but with buck teeth.
I sure hope she isn't a listener of the.
Because
that would be weird.
One less listener.
So who's actually sending out the prize this week? I think it was your turn, Will, right?
Well, but who wins? Do I send myself a prize?
I think they would. I think they just get a free shirt. Maybe we should give, once we get the shirts made, we give them one of those, and we each give them one, or something. I don't know. I just want to get rid of stuff because we're moving. I'm just going to get a million emails.
Zack's going to send you a bunch of things.
Zack's going to send you 12 extra small shirts.
None of them are merch. It's just going to be like junk.
Random Sharpies.
When people order hammers from me, instead of using like packing foam, I'm just going to put like stuff I don't want in there.
Like old t-shirts, like that you don't want to pack?
just to take up the room.
Like your sweaty forging t-shirt, like...
Gross. I only have one t-shirt that I use when I forge, and it never gets washed.
Yeah, that would sell well in Japan.
Oh yeah, that's messed up.
Yeah, sorry. Oh, all right. I think we're descending. Okay, so where we land on who's doing what? We're promising a future shirt to the people?
Yeah, let's do that, and maybe we'll send them something else as well. So we'll have to figure out the t-shirt and the design. I like the idea of having both yours and the other one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Somehow.
Maybe I could have it refined a little bit, or talk to one of my graphic designer buddies.
Yeah, if we could brush up the cactus a little bit and make it look a little bit less...
More cactusy. Yeah, more cactusy.
Pickled phallus is the emblem of our podcast.
All right, that's the newest. No, pickled phallus. All right. What's the logo of the Creators Photo Challenge? The pickled phallus. All right.
And this podcast is off the rails. It's gone everywhere. It's gone self-help. It's gone.
So who's winning this week? Do you love me, or do you create things until sleep?
I think that would. Like that.
That's is by Fernie Creations.
Fernib or Fernie B? I'm
Fernie
not
B.
sure.
I think that's right. Guys, there's a B in the logo. Yeah.
Fernie B.
Cool.
All right, Fernie B.
Send us your info and we'll get you a shirt as soon as we get those printed. In other words, like 3 or 4 years from now.
Yeah.
Cool. We need to do like stickers or something cheap and easy to ship.
Well, we'll have, if we get your graphic designer, I think that would be a great logo. I mean, who cares, right? Like everywhere you go, there's walls of stickers.
True.
Like people put their stickers on everything. Like ours would jump out. It's not a hand plane. It's not a saw blade. It's a cactus. It makes no sense whatsoever. It's super out of place.
Maybe I'll reach out to Carlos of Cactus Workshop and say, "Hey, Carlos, do you want to collaborate on a cactus?"
I got to meet him.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Cool. We're internet buddies. We used to chat all the time.
Yeah.
But I haven't talked to him in a while. Yeah.
Cool guy.
Yeah, Joshua Luther just posted in the chat. Zach, if you send me something, can you pack it with a guitar?
Yeah.
Cool. I don't have a joke of the week, which I didn't think about putting one in there ahead of time. Do you guys have one? Well, then we'll just skip that. Cool. Well, what's watching, reading? What's inspiring us? You got anything, Will?
Honestly, this is totally, kind of back to the, downness, the bummed. Nothing is inspiring me right now. Like nothing on YouTube. Like I keep scrolling through YouTube and I just like meh. So sorry, any YouTube creator that's out there listening right now. I just haven't. Nothing has piqued my interest. I'm kind of just over, the river tables and the Lichtenberg fractals and whatever. But
you mean YouTube?
YouTube, yeah. I'd like to get back to like something that's like that really makes me go like whoa or wow or that was a beautiful design or So and I've read all my books.
You've read all of the books.
All of my books, all the books that I have. So I want to say, I guess I've been thinking more and more about this cantina that I'm building, and I've got some logs that I'm going to mill into timbers for the covered patio. It's going to be a 12-foot long by like 11 feet tall vaulted ceiling timber framed patio. So I guess I've been focusing more on getting back into timber framing and kind of brushing up on those skills. So I guess that's what's been inspiring me right now. Timber frame.
Cool.
Timbersmiths.
See, I've got to say for inspiration, you just got to travel. Go to someplace old and look at buildings. Yeah. So I've been having a ton of fun in London, and even like Maker Central. They had several things on showcase. They had someone there who built a small sailboat skiff, and gorgeous construction. There were several other furniture pieces there that were just very different and very intriguing. But when I was down in London, I actually came across there's on the South Shore there is a beach. And when I mean a beach, I mean like a sandy beach that's 300 foot long and maybe 20 feet deep at low tide. And there's a guy who goes down there every day and makes sand sculptures on the beach. And he has a website, thebeachcaptain.com. And I actually watched a couple of videos on him, and it was actually kind of cool because it's just a guy who found something that he enjoys and something he wants to do for the rest of his life. And he does it day after day after day and goes down there and creates something new. And I thought that was just fantastic. Really kind of cool to see it in person. So yeah, definitely worth taking a look at.
All right. Well, speaking of traveling and getting inspired, we do have a joke of the week now. And what's the best thing about Switzerland? I don't know, but the flag is a big plus.
Nice.
Bum.
Nice.
Thank you, Mike. Is it Tabar or Tabar? I'm sorry. I'll do James's job and butcher your last name today.
Thanks, Mike.
So I do have some interesting news that I figured I'd share with everybody. So
he's traveling again.
No, well, hopefully in a month. Hopefully it's a one-way I think I'm gonna get out at the state line and relieve myself right before I cross over.
That's the news.
That's yeah. No, that just came to me right now. That might be my last Instagram story. It'll just be a silhouette of me peeing on the state line. Oh man, I need
Josh Luther, are you pregnant?
I need some more good news in my life. Apparently, sound bitter today. So there is a fun little project that there is very little information on at the moment, and it involves myself, Paul Jackman, and John Graziano, and it is going to be a totally different podcast. Imagine that. From any other podcast, I think. And yeah, that's pretty much all I'm going to say. And if you're interested, call 818 AskCast. AskCast. It's going to be the AskCast podcast. So call 818-ASK-CAST and leave us a message. We've had a couple of hangouts and a couple of trial runs, and we'll probably put up our episode 0 at some point in the near future. But yeah, it's going to be something a little bit different. It's not going to have much to do with making, I don't think.
Wow. All right.
Yeah.
I saw Paul's post about the call this number, and I was always intrigued, but I was too scared to call.
It's good. We have we have a nice voice message. If nothing else, just call and listen to it. But yeah, leave us. If you have a question on anything, it can be making related, but preferably not. This is we want a podcast that is going to go totally off the rails, and nobody's there to bring it back to any sort of point. So we have no idea.
Boxers or briefs?
Yeah, leave us a message. I can't answer that here. Oh,
cool.
Yeah, so that's happening at some point.
Well, then let's see what's our favorite tool of the week. What you got, Zach?
Oh, give me a sec. Oh, no, I did that last time because I just got back from a trip. I was going to say my ISO tunes, but I think I literally said that the last podcast. Okay, somebody else go. Let me think.
I was actually using my ISO tunes quite a bit this week. Airplanes are fantastic for them.
If anybody wants a discount, use ZHF.
There you go. All right. Since we're going down the affiliate train, I got to go with Starbond Adhesives. They're the freshest CA glues on the market, and they come from Japan, and they're imported, I think, through San Francisco, and I'm an affiliate of theirs. You can save 10% using code Walker10 at checkout. Starbond Adhesives, they make things stick together.
Is that their catchprise? It sounded like like a script.
No, I just made that up.
That's perfect.
Thanks. I do pretty bad infomercials.
We should try and start reading ours like they're scripted at the end.
We should.
We'll go the other way instead of. I mean, we really don't do ads on this podcast, but we should actually go the other way and not do ads, but try and make them sound like ads. We'll try and make them as commercially repulsive as possible.
Starbond Adhesives, the preferred CA glues of cat burglars anywhere.
Why would a cat burglar use adhesive?
Do you want to lose your fingerprints? Use Starbond Adhesives to stick your fingers together.
Something for sticky fingers.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
I can't.
I've got the next glue test coming up. I'm hoping to start it this week, so maybe I'll throw something in there.
This message was brought to you by Starbond Adhesives.
Do you need to
get yourself out of a sticky situation?
Well, I'm going to move on from one affiliate to another, because I have to give a shout out.
Making the best of a sticky situation. There you go. That's money.
All right. Remember, you can save 10%. Walker 10. All right.
Starbond Adhesives.
All right, James. Who did you want to give a shout out to?
DFM. DFM, he just made a new dowel plate, and I have been playing with mine. I got one of the early rollouts of it, and it is so much fun. If you ever used a dowel plate to make dowels, have either of you used a dowel plate to make dowels?
Yeah, I made my
No.
own.
Right.
Nope.
This is rather than having a straight hole, it's actually a tapered hole. So there's a cutting edge on the top, but then it's open on the bottom, so it slides through easier,
Oh, nice.
and you get a much cleaner cut from it. It's really, really kind of cool, and I've been having a ton of
great
fun with it.
idea.
So I'll be having a video coming out that later today, but he just got another set of those up, and so they're now available on Amazon, and well worth it. So if you want a dowel plate, that's the one to get.
I'll check it out. Yeah, mine works. It's just, like you said, they're not as clean because the straight hole.
A dowel plate for those who want dowels.
Apparently, it's a doer plate on the link. There you go.
Doer. Wow, that was a little off in spelling.
Yeah. All right.
Cool. Well, on that
tool
note,
of the week. Do I have a tool of the week? I don't think I have a tool of the week. Safety glasses. It's like the only thing I took with me.
You took your own safety glasses. That's nice.
Yeah, I don't like this. Like, it's a lot of things evolve. The only thing that doesn't are like safety glasses. They're still like 1995. Like all the safety glasses you see, they're like the blades from like 1995.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Or they're like the huge clunky ones like that old people wear when they drive.
Or that you wore in science class.
Yeah. So I found a good pair. I guess they are kind of old school, but they have frames and they don't scratch. I think it's called Magid, Magid. I bought 2 sets a while ago, and they're the best safety glasses I have, and they have side shields. So, yeah. Are we doing inspiration now?
We already did inspiration.
I don't think did. I say one?
No, do we skip you?
Yeah, you said you had nothing. Oh no, it was Will that said nothing.
I said nothing.
Oh,
you listed AskCast.
That's not my inspiration though.
Well, what's your
that
inspiration?
Was just an announcement. Okay.
I don't know. I would. You know what? This is weird, but do any of you guys follow people that are terrible, just so that you can see their stuff,
like
and feel
in real life,
about yourself,
or no? Oh, I see what you mean.
Like on Instagram or something.
No, I mean,
I'm obviously not going to say any names, but
is it me?
Follow this guy because he sucks, and you'll feel way better about yourself.
It's the only reason you follow Will, the William Walker Company. No, I don't.
Bond.
Yeah.
No, you should. Sometimes it's fun to watch people. It sounds terrible. It sounds like I'm being mean. If I mentioned names, I would be being mean. And I don't think there's anybody really in like our community or any names that would even be recognizable to anybody here. But like sometimes it's good to, kind of see people who aren't good. I mean, is that weird? Does that mean I don't intend it to, but
makes you feel good when others aren't.
It can, and obviously I wish everybody the best success. But I think sometimes it can be good to see some things that kind of, make you appreciate your own work.
See, with me, I would have the opposite problem. I would look at something and be like, wow, like I would have done that differently, or, man, they should have done.
That's a good thing too.
But like
you can gain from that
But I would look at it. I'd look at it and be like, that's poorly constructed, or that joint's going to fail, or what were they thinking? And then look at like their website where they're selling stuff and they're like killing it, or they've got I don't know. I'd be like, man, why do I do what I do?
I think being able to critique things and look at things that are bad and ask yourself, why is this bad? That's worth your time. Because sometimes, you'll see something and you're like, God, why? Like, or like say even something simple as like a knife on Instagram. You're like, wow, that is really terrible. And then you're like, why does it look so bad? And that can actually teach you like, oh, well, the handle is too short, or this curve doesn't go with this straight line, or this clashes, or these colors are bad, or like whatever, like these simple things are can I think they can really kind of improve your eye for detail and you can even get ideas from looking at terrible work. So I don't know. I think there's certainly a value in that. It's like when I used to teach guitar lessons, and I felt like I learned more teaching than I did, learning a lot of the times, because you have to figure out you have to analyze. Like if somebody wants to learn how to play something, you're like, okay, well, oh, why do I do that? Like, how do I do that? These things that are almost second nature to you that you never really had to break down into small pieces, you kind of have to do that rather than just being like, I don't know, you just do this. You're like, no, okay, I have to break it down note for note. Or looking at a bad piece of furniture, you can go, I know it looks bad, but why does it look bad? And how would they be able to fix that? Sometimes, I mean, I don't know. I think there can be a value in that. So find some people that suck and follow them.
Way to bring it back, Zach.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, I think we've had enough fun for one day. So I want to say a huge thank you to everyone who came onto this. If you want to join us live, you can join us Thursday at 10 a.m. Eastern time. And we are live on YouTube, Creators Collective channel. And you can have your questions answered on air if we ever get around to doing that. Or have some fun in the background and play the games that go on in the live chat. So I think that's about it. And until next time, have a wonderful day.
Adios.
Start bond.